we are, today we're having sort of a changing distribution in terms of, today you can watch television from anywhere, from here on your iPad, your phone, obviously TV, traditional TV, the internet, and so on. But the TV is becoming less and less important. And so, what do you think? How do you look at that, and how are you dealing with those challenges?
Thanks. First, I'm very pleased to be in the Jurassic Park group. It's the first time in my life to feel very old today. Thanks for this, but it's a good creative approach to this. TV is not getting less and less important. This is the first thing, because I refer a bit to Germany because this is our home turf. TV is very important still. The TV consumption in Germany has a record high level in this year, in 2010, and it's forecasted to remain very stable. So this is one good news for us, but this is not a reason to go sleeping, because TV consumption is still good. We are very active in all fields of new devices, new ways, and we have a very simple strategy defined, which is that we want all of our content everywhere for all consumers on all platforms. It's very simple. We want to be there where the consumer is, and we want them to consume our content there. And to give you just a few numbers, we're the #3 online marketer in Germany. So we reach about 50% of all unique users in Germany with our online network, which is still something. And we are running the #1 video-on-demand platform. So we are not that much Jurassic Park as it seems. We have diversified, and we're very active in the online business. And moreover, we are very active in the music business and have a, I think, attractive online portfolio, which allows us to be on all devices and which allows us to spread all our brands on all platforms.
Great. Well, I suppose I have to ask you more or less the same question, in the sense that, do you think that TV will remain stable as the traditional way of watching TV, or do you think it will continue to change?
I think that's exactly the point. I mean, what do we define as TV? The way we watch TV today has completely changed. Yes, according to the TV panels in Germany, it's 3,000 households, so you can all debate how representative it is. TV consumption is stable, but any consumer survey will show that we're a far cry from the whole family watching with attention a show in the evening. And what's happening is that teenagers today, and even adults, have the TV running. They most of the time don't pay attention to it, and even when they're paying attention to it, at the same time they're chatting online, they're Facebooking, they're looking up stuff, they're using the computer, writing emails, and so forth. So the way the media is being consumed has changed fundamentally, and the social interaction around content, even around event-driven content, which is what TV is really good at, has become more and more important, and it's only a question of time until that impacts more than it already does the ad business. So the big screen is there to stick around, but what's happening is that moving pictures are reaching every screen, the small screen, the mobile screen, the iPad, the big TV screen, the TV screen in the living room, in the car one day. That's changing, the behavior of users is changing, the interaction around the content is changing, and that has affected the type of content that TV is showing. If you look at the shows that really work on ProSieben or elsewhere, it's usually event-driven, whereas the longer tail of content, documentaries, certain types of films, even series, have moved online, or are in a mix of TV and online. Thankfully for the shareholders of large TV corporations, they tend to adapt to these developments, but it also leaves a lot of room for more or less newcomers. We were founded in 2006, so we're not that new anymore, to grab a size of the market.
Yeah, so basically, I do agree that the traditional players in the market still have a role, and obviously are very powerful entities in terms of their ability to get the right content and so on and so forth. And some of them have been able to pivot pretty well. I mean, you know, when I did my homework, I looked at Netflix and how they're getting now, what is it, about 60% of their viewing is streaming. So they're basically a streaming company from being a DVD company. So, you know, aren't we really seeing that, you know, things are changing, yes, but maybe slowly, and you guys are taking advantage of what, you know, how are you looking at that?
You're right, things are changing, there's no question, but we are part of the change. This is the main message that I have, and we're not waiting for competitors or other people to come and to take our business. We are part of this change. We have a video sharing platform on our own, and when I say the big players like Facebook, and we consider them as partners, it's relatively simple. Our brands should all play an important role. Is it me? No, it was not me.
Must be me.
Put all the weapons away. Like Facebook, and we're very present on Facebook, all our brands are, and yes, we think we have a parallel usage, for example, of TV and online, we know that, but for us, it's a chance, really. For example, for our big shows, big event shows like Popstars or Germany's Next Top Model, we produce an extra show for the commercial breaks and really saying to people, now during the commercial break, go online, we have additional information, we have an additional show, we have a separate show really just running for the commercial breaks because we want them to use TV and online in parallel. This is, yeah, considered as a threat years ago. Now we think more it's a chance to reach people. Okay, and it's the same attitude towards our clients, towards our advertisers. Because whenever we think of content in a 360 model, and this is what we offer them. So if we are TV and online or even on social networks, this is our offer really to be part of our content with their brand as well. So
onto a new threat in terms of, you have, for example, YouTube doing extremely well. I think it's 60 billion views a month. I think that's accurate. And they're also moving now into premium content. So they're becoming a completely different entity. And what we've seen on the internet has been a tradition of sort of a winner takes all. In terms of, for both of you actually, you know, being fairly regional, whereas YouTube, you know, looks at the world globally, you know, how is that going to affect you, and you know, how do you respond to that?
Actually, to make a couple of things clear, we don't perceive ourselves as competitors of the TV broadcasters, not even of their video sharing site, and we do not perceive ourselves as being a competitor of YouTube. You have to look at the usage scenario. YouTube is essentially a search engine to find videos, and the content that dominates on YouTube is short clips, most of them amateur content or otherwise sort of non-premium licensed content. And of course, YouTube is going to have an offering, a limited offering of premium content channels because it makes sense for some of those content providers to just get a lot of reach, and they hope that they can get it on a site like YouTube. However, if you look at how content is best used and monetized, from a content provider's point of view, from a Warner or a Disney or even an independent provider, the best way for them to run something is to define different licensing windows, give the traditional broadcast TV a defined window, and then slice up the online rights in a way that reinforces all the different ways that the content is being used. So to be more specific, if you have a series like Gossip Girl, then there's going to be a window before the show airs, there's going to be a window while the show airs, there's going to be a window after the show airs, and there's going to be archive rights. And all of those rights are being distributed across platforms such as ours, such as the ones run by the TV broadcasters, and even on YouTube. On YouTube you will have, what will dominate is teaser content, stuff that gets users to be aware of a certain type of content and then go somewhere else to have a more sort of complete enjoyment of the content. And what we found is that when we work together with TV broadcasters, we actually reinforce the reach. We don't take away any reach. And that also means we don't take away any advertising dollars. We actually all earn more money together if we work together. And that's the paradigm that thankfully has been established in the past 12 months. and is going to fuel the growth in the next 2 to 3 years.
Just to let me add one thing. So far, the online video usage was for us totally incremental. We discussed this for quite a long time, whether it's smart to go with all the content online or not, whether it would cannibalize or not. But now we know it does not cannibalize at all. It was all incremental usage. So we are happy with this situation. And I think in terms of premium content, so far the model of Windows is absolutely right. They need mass media to make brands popular. I don't think about any, for example, US series which hasn't been aired on TV to become really popular and great, than to have the second and third window really to make more money out of it. So the question is whether you are able or not really to take a new brand and to make it popular without mass media. And so far, I think this is still the best way.
I wouldn't entirely agree. I think it really depends on the format, and what I think is happening is that the so-called mass media more and more is becoming event-driven, because the big distinction between what we call online and what's still going on traditional broadcast TV is that on broadcast TV, if you want to watch it, you have to be there at a certain time, whereas online, the dominating paradigm is on demand, and that's the big distinction. So the tendency is going to be that everything that works in broadcast is going to be stuff that works really well if it has to happen at a certain time, and everything that's on demand and has a more distributed appeal to smaller niches of viewers is going to be more on demand, so more online. But what's also going to happen is that the distinction we have, now we speak of online and broadcast, and we all feel in this room that we understand what that distinction means. It's already out there. TV screens are becoming interactive. They have fledgling internet access. It all feels like CompuServe 1996, but it's a beginning. Give it 2 to 3 more years, and it will be completely normal to have interaction and on-demand features on your big TV screen. So the whole distinction between a broadcast service or a broadcast screen and your laptop is going to go away. It's going to be replaced by something where users have the expectation that there's some kind of interaction wherever they watch it.
So to sort of round this off, I was just thinking we're sort of the end of 2010 and we're looking at themes for 2011. You know, what do you see as the main themes? We've spoken about some of them, but are there any others that that you think are going to be really the interesting things happening in 2011?
Just once again, it's very hard to understand.
The themes. The themes. What do you see as the sort of key themes for internet video or TV in general for 2011?
I think the main, it's not only 2011, I think the trends that we have are very much about hybrid TV, where we see that TV and internet is getting together, it's getting one thing. Still, it's really a very early phase of this, but we're prepared to do so, which is again a great chance for us to see this TV with more features, and which allows us to integrate our customers and customer brands into this whole process and going deeper into content. And I think all that comes up is about 3D, and which allows us kind of renaissance, rebirth of TV, because it makes TV experience much richer again. And there is one very nice research in Germany that we have, the question how people build their living room. How do they do? First of all, they place their TV and they build everything else around it. It was not our research, actually. We didn't pay for that, but it's the way people still behave. And with the possibility of having the internet in TV and more features like 3D, I think we'll still have a potential for growth and for stable consumption.
Yeah, in short, hybrid TV is coming. We're going to see massive budget shifts towards campaigns that are more distributed and not just on one medium. And the content providers are going to find very innovative ways of creating new formats and new licensing windows for the content. And a lot of archives are going to be open, and we're going to discover that they can create a lot of reach outside of traditional media.
All right. Thank you very much.